Hey everybody, welcome back to another Escape from Tarkov video. In this one, we're talking about how to build those AKs all up from the level 1 traders, and we got a few ways we can do that. Let's talk about it. Alright, just as a reminder, I do stream on Twitch. My link will be in the description below. And if you like content like this, please leave a like, comment if you want to see more about it. And then also, if you like the content I am putting out, feel free to subscribe. It really does help the channel more than you guys think. So, we're going to talk about the AK. For this one, we are using the VPO 136 because the VPO is one that you can buy. You don't have to trade for, you don't have to do anything like that. But AKs, like so many different kinds of AKs, are so well put out throughout the whole like every map and the whole game. So you can kind of do this like picking up scav weapons, picking up weapons off of other people. This is just all the things that you can do because AKs are such a big platform in this game. The VPO 136 is a semi-automatic version of the AK. It uses a 7.62x39 ammo, which you can buy from proper level 1. We're going to talk about a few ways that you can kind of do this. We're going to talk about two specifically just because these are, kind of as simple as it gets if you want to get a sight on there. And then also, if you want to change almost every part out, at least every part that you can from the beginning, we're going to talk about kind of both options there. So with this first one, we're going to take just a stock VPO 136 that you can buy from Skier. All right, you can trade from Skier as well, but we're going to talk about buying it. It's about 32K. So we're going to take that. We're going to take a few other things that you could buy. So from Skier, you buy the M1B. Now, the M1B is not a handguard. It is a gas tube. So you need to keep that into consideration when you're doing it, is because it's right here under Skier level 1. And you need to keep that in consideration because when you're modding it, you have to take the gas tube off. You can't just take the handguard off like you can with a lot of other situations here. So I'm going to use it just like I'm doing without the workbench. Okay, so that way you guys can see it if you don't have the workbench. If you do have the workbench, you can go into the edit or the modding screen and it helps change those things for you. So we're going to take this. We're going to take the gas tube off. Now, as you can see, it kind of looks like the handguard's here twice. All right, we're going to take the gas tube one off, though. Okay, it's this first one right here. This is just the handguard. Okay, so you can see the GTU. It's the gas tube. Okay. Then you're able to throw this guy right on there. Okay, and then put a sight, a red dot sight. Okay. With this one, there is a caveat with this one, though. This is all I'm going to mod this one out. Okay, that it gets you a sight on there. It's super cheap, and you don't have to worry about it. All right, but I always like to take the rear sight off just because taking the rear sight off, it kind of keeps that out of the way. It can kind of get in the way. So just try and take that off if you want to. If you don't remember, it's not a big deal. It can just kind of be a little inconvenient at times. But with this one, you need to keep in mind what sights you're trying to put on the gun, though. So if I take the PK06 off and I try and put this Found and Raid Spectre on there, you can't. Okay, this handguard does limit your sight options, but from level 1, you're getting you got the PK06 from Jaeger. I think Jaeger also sells like the Cobra, and there's a few other ones from like Peacekeeper too. So just keep that in mind, is that it does limit your sight options when you're doing this. But this one does cost a total of 43K. It's a much cheaper option. It's real budget. It's 30 round mags you can get from Prapper. It's just real quick in and out, like nothing crazy about it. There's no extra attachments or anything here, okay? But it does get you a sight on the AK. It does get you kind of out there if you really struggle with iron sights like I do. It does help. It's a big deal here. So now we're going to talk about kind of how to go all out with this, all right? This is like changing almost every part, or at least every part that you can from the beginning, and we're going to talk about this guy right here. So we'll go into the edit preset thing real here so you guys can kind of see. We're throwing a handguard on there. You got a laser on there. The foregrip is different. The pistol grip's different. The stock's different. Dust cover, sight. And I even put the little charging handle thing on there to add a little bit of extra ergonomics, okay? You modify this how you want, okay? You don't have to put all this stuff on there, but I'm just showing you that I did do everything I possibly could. That way you're not like, oh, why are my stats different? Why this? Why that? It's just, this is as much as you can do from level 1 from what I found and what I actually enjoy using. So, so with this, the first couple things you're going to want to look for, we're going to go down, we're going to go to Prapper, okay? And he's got the stock and the pistol grip, okay? He doesn't really have much else. that we're going to use for this. Actually, you know what? He does have the handguard as well. So here's the thing with the handguards. All right, you got to look for the AK-100 series one because it has the rail on the bottom. All right, I'm trying to get the light right there. It has the rail on the bottom and the rail on the side as well. If you grab like the AK-74 one, it doesn't have anything. It's just black. Okay, so there's no like extra. It does add 5 extra ergonomics, but it doesn't help with if you're trying to put a foregrip to help with the recoil or anything like that. So you need to make sure that you're picking the right one. Okay, because they do both fit on the VPO. Okay, so make sure you grab the one. It's got the rail on it. It's got a rail on the side on it as well. It is, a whopping 300 rubles more expensive. If you're worried about 300 rubles, I'm sorry, but you need to make sure you're not modding your guns. You just need to go out and find more. But you got the stock, you got the pistol grip, and then you have the foregrip as well. You're gonna come over your skier. We're gonna buy the laser sight, which is the NC Star Tactical Blue Laser. We're going to buy the foregrip, which is the RK6 foregrip, and that's pretty much it. If you want to use a different sight, you've got a sight here from Skier, and then we're also going to buy the dust cover, the Bastion dust cover. Okay, it does add a little bit of ergo. It does add a little bit of durability, but at this point, you're probably not going to use this gun enough to have that make a difference. So don't worry too much about that statistic right now. But this is what's going to help you put different types of sights. If you find a sight in raid or if you find something, this is the big game changer. You're also going to buy the Zenit RP1 charging handle. Okay, he does, like I said, that's not necessarily, it does add a little bit it adds 1 extra ergo. If you just kind of want maybe a little bit snappier aim down sight times or quieter or just a little bit more control over the weapon, it doesn't really make too much of a difference, though. So keep that in mind. If you don't want to spend the extra 3,000 rubles, you don't necessarily have to. Okay. So those are pretty much all the big parts we're going to get, both from Prepper and Skier. It's pretty easy to kind of get this going. All right. So I will show you. I'm going to put this guy back together, and I will show you kind of how we're going to put this all together. Because remember, this M1B was the gas tube. Now we're dealing with the handguard. Okay, so we're going to do things a little differently here. So I'm going to disassemble this guy, and then we'll get kind of rolling. All right, so I got all of our parts organized. I got everything ready to go so you guys can see how we're going to throw this together real quick, because there's a few little things you got to be careful of because it won't just all pop together, right? Like I said, this is not using the edit preset screen or the modding screen. This is just if you do not have the workbench on how to put all this together. So we're going to take it. We're going to take off the stock pistol grip, the rear sight. We're going to take off the dust cover, and then we're going to take off the VPO 136 handguard. Okay, you leave the mag in there. It really doesn't matter if you want to take the mag off, whatever, fine. But you can leave the mag in there. It's really not a big deal. So once it's completely disassembled all the parts, you can pretty much just throw everything on. So stock, the pistol grip's down here, that handguard, and then everything kind of just gets thrown on. All your attachments and stuff all get thrown on, and you have your gun put together. So I kind of want to take a second. I want to talk about the stat differences here, okay, because they're not really huge. Ergonomics, you get a few ergonomics out of the more expensive one. This one's going to cost you about 59,000 rubles instead of the 43,000 that this guy over here is going to cost you. Okay, so you're getting about 4 more ergonomics. Recoil, vertical recoil has not changed. Okay, hasn't changed. Even with the addition of this foregrip on here, it doesn't change whatsoever. Same thing with horizontal recoil. It does not change across the 2 different weapon systems. All right, so if you prefer to have more sight options, then this guy is a little bit of a better option for you because you can't put the Spectres or the bigger sights that you may find in raid on that one where you can put it on this one. Okay, so if you're okay with spending the more rubles and you know that you're not going to get any statistical differences, then spend the extra money, okay, because you're going to have a little bit more play with what you want to do. If you find a foregrip in raid, you're able to put that on there. That might help your recoil a little bit. If you going into resort or somewhere else that can get dark all the time or dorms or anything like that, you can throw a flashlight on. This guy over here, the more expensive and the more built one, gives you that flexibility where this guy over here will not. It's just the bare minimum to get you through raid. I mean, really, if you really want a bare minimum, you don't have to make any changes to this at all. It is semi-automatic, so you can take pot shots or just, one shot at a time, and you're not going to worry too much about recoil. But this is something that it's where you have the flexibility to adjust for, hey, all right, I've got this site that I found in Raid. I know I'm going into woods to do this quest or whatever. I need to have the range where you won't get out of this one. You'll just get a red dot site if you build it that way. Okay, but you need to understand that 16,000 ruble difference really isn't making too much of a statistical difference. Okay, and even throwing the Spectre on here, I dropped my recoil back, my ergonomics back down. Okay, so the ergo is screwed, really, but your sighting range is different. You get 800 meters on this one with 100 meters just because of the sight. So you need to make sure you're keeping that into consideration. When it comes to building AKs this early in the game, you need to take your personal preference and you need to see what your mission is. What are you going in? What map you're going into? What are you going to do? What are you trying to accomplish? Because this is the gun that has really the most flexibility this early in the game. So you need to make sure that you're doing it based on your mission and bringing mission essential stuff. You don't want to find yourself on woods with a red dot sight fighting Sturman. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to end up in that situation. So you need to make sure that you are doing everything you can to accomplish your mission and survive the raid, because you want to progress through the game. Surviving is the way to do it. So these builds are not just for the VPO 136. You got to remember that these work across multiple different AKs. Now, there are going to be some differences, like Prapor sells 2 different stocks, so you might have to make sure you pick the right one. If you're looking to pick the right stock, you're going to come over here, or right part, you're going to come over here, you're going to select your stock here, and there's going to be compatible with available, and this is what you have in your stash that this stock is compatible with. Okay, so make sure you just kind of put your mouse over it, figure out, all right, cool, this is what I have. This will work with the gun that I'm trying to mod right now. This one, same thing. It's 2 different guns, so you need to make sure that you are buying the right pieces, and that's a way to do it. The other way to do it is the modding screen. If you come in here, edit preset, all right, cool, I know that I want a different sight on there. I'm gonna, if you click assemble up here, it's gonna tell you, all right, cool, you can assemble that. But if you pick a sight, like say, I don't have the MRS in my stash, I come over here, click assemble, it says, hey, you need to buy these. Come over here, buy them, and it'll pop up, all right, cool, hey, you can buy that sight. Okay, so that's the way that I kind of do it once I get the workbench. But if you don't have the workbench, then you're unable to do those things that way. So make sure you build that workbench up as early as you can, because it does make modding weapons a lot easier. Thanks, everybody, for coming back and watching another Escape from Tarkov video. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below so I can help you answer them and help you build these AKs or help you modify your weapons early game, because the game doesn't help you at all. So it's what we're here for. If you liked it, please feel free to like it. It helps more than you think. And also subscribe. Don't forget, all of my links are in the description below for Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, all of that kind of stuff if you want to come chat with me. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Got him. Oh, fuck. I don't know where the fuck that scav is. He's scared the bejeebies out of me. Where is he? Alright, he's over here somewhere. Where's my rock? There he is. He's dead.
Dude. Yo, so how you guys thinking fucking...
He's pushing you guys? I'm so bad. I am so bad. Okay.